Oh my God, I almost had a perfect intro. First of all, Jordan, I do not appreciate you talking smack about me. I do know how to tell time. We had some technical difficulties today. Here I have with me the lovely Kim Mumford with Kim Mumford Photography. Hi, Syconius. Kim is a dear friend of mine that I have known for 11 years. I want to say it's
I
been
think
about
so.
11 years, I think. I met Kim through my high school sweetheart, my oldest son's father. And we've kind of we've been friends since that moment really. From
We
a
got rid of
daycare.
him and kept you.
Exactly, you got rid of him and kept me. You've been my son's childcare provider. You've been my confidant, my photographer for my maternities, baby showers, boudoir photos, mommy and me's, headshots, uh, fun projects for Halloween.
Yep, yep.
Really kind of just that's basically our relationship in a nutshell. Go ahead and tell us a bit about yourself, Kim.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim. I'm a professional photographer here in Southern Illinois. Been a professional for about 10 years now. Pretty much self-taught. Um, just get out there and I grind and I practice and developed a lot over the years. Let's put it that way. I currently, yeah, some of the ones from the beginning, yeah, you'd be kind of like shocked, but I kind of specialize right now in seniors, sports. I still do families and couples and boudoir, but I don't do newborns anymore. Kind of getting away from that. I don't do cake smashes, but like I said, my passion right now lies with my seniors and my creative shots and my sports. So I'm a mom of three, grandma of one,
Mm-hmm.
hoping for another one because
Matt,
grandbabies are a lot more fun.
listen, Matt, you heard your mom. Get on it.
That's right.
Or
That's right.
Kayla. I mean, hey,
No, well,
I
hey, let's
saw.
let's get Caleb married first.
There you go. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Um, but yeah, hockey loving family.
Yeah, I know that you are big into the hockey scene. I know that about you because I've known you for so long. But your son is in he plays college hockey, right?
He does. He when he graduated in 2020, he went down to Atlanta and played juniors for 3 years. And then he decided to come home, and he's now going to school at Maryville University in St. Louis and plays for Maryville.
I did
So
not know
this weekend
that.
we know hockey. So yeah, yeah, yeah. He's close to home now,
Oh, that's
which is nice.
awesome. Oh, so that's the son you were talking to and you said it's the
Yeah,
one that you
that's
can
that's
stand
that's the
half the
son.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, gotcha, gotcha. That makes more sense. I thought you meant Matt, and I was like, there's no way.
I think I talked to Matt earlier today for like maybe 5 minutes, and then first time I talked to him in like week and a half because
Yeah.
we just got back from Florida, so we kind of didn't get a chance to visit. But so yeah,
You
no,
say
he's the
you
one
say you
over
got back
here.
from Florida, was that?
Yeah, we went to Florida last week.
Okay.
Because my love of horror, we ended up
Yeah.
going to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. And
Nice.
enjoy. We got 7 of the 10 houses done. We did a Stranger Things, we did an Exorcist,
Well, that's very
we did a
cool.
Crossroads theme, and it was really cool. Screamed a lot, walked a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of jump scares. So
I know Halloween is actually one of your it's like your favorite holiday. You can actually see it better than Jack can see it, but you see my decorations I got back here, but
yeah,
I
yeah, I
have
love it.
I didn't even turn on my other lights actually. While we're here messing things up in life, let's
Let's just go
just
for it. There you
take
go.
care of that real quick. You know.
Woohoo!
Sorry guys, I am a professional, obviously. Um but yeah, so we've done a lot of shoots together over the years, and I think probably one of my favorite projects that you have done have been like the Halloween themed ones.
Yeah.
Your creativity seems to really kind of flourish when we do those shoots. It definitely it's like tenfold. It's like you're in a different world whenever you create those.
I, oh my gosh, always been a big Halloween fan, big horror fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of my top holidays, even above Christmas.
Yeah.
I love it. I could literally spend every day walking around like Spirit Halloween store and places like that and spend way too much money.
Yeah.
But when I do the Halloween ones, I have full control basically. Like I can do the scarier, the better, the crazier, and everybody just goes with my crazy ideas, which works because, as a matter of fact, two of your images have been published in
Yeah.
magazines, so it's worth something, you know?
Yeah, just so you know, guys, I am actually a published model. So, no big
Woohoo!
deal or anything. We're actually going to show you guys some of the shoots that we've done together. Um, the Purge one with the red smoke going on behind my head, right? So I have like the mask on with
Yep.
the bat and like the smoke's going on or whatever. That is actually um, a very popular image that I use actually around all my social medias. So my page on Facebook, I use that as my profile picture. I think here on Kick, actually, that is also my profile picture on here. And I post it to Twitter. It's one of my favorite ones. That's actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one that got published, or one of the ones that got published, isn't it?
It is. It is. That
Yeah.
is the one that got published. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really exciting.
Which
Now,
I thought
how
was pretty
many?
cool.
Oh, dude, I was so ecstatic. I mean, I'm always ecstatic because this isn't the first time that you've been published with one of your images. But I was, like you know how I am. I always get excited, for you or for somebody that I love and I'm supporting and everything. But
Yeah,
the
you're
fact
one of
that,
my biggest cheerleaders. I appreciate that.
yeah, of course, dude, of course. But the fact that it was one of the photo, like it was my photo that made it, I was like, holy shit, I'm that bitch. That's it. Like you can't tell me shit. I am her. Like I was going around the house. I was telling Corey, I was like, you're dating a published model. No big deal. Published model over here.
Right?
How many photos of yours have been published in magazines over the years?
Um, I would have to say probably at least 2 dozen at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't start really stepping out of my box until probably 2019. Um, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just jump with both feet and I'm going to start submitting images. And, what's the worst I can say is no.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and there's a lot of magazines both on Facebook and there's a popular one in the big photography community called Shutter Magazine, which
Mm-hmm.
a local photographer who's amazing, Sal. He does a workshop here at Union Station every year, but he's got this magazine's all over the world, and I've actually had two images published in that. So it's pretty exciting to see it, and it's pretty
Yeah.
exciting to see people that appreciate my work, I guess, besides the client. Clients look at their images and they love them anyways. I love them. My family does, my friends. But then it's to say somebody that's, in my career that actually appreciates it as well.
Yeah, like
So, yeah,
outside of your circle. It's a
exactly.
pretty cool thing. Have you in your published pictures, have you ever received like the negativity from people who have like nothing but like kind of like not so nice things to say about it, or like questioning how this got published, or have you had to really deal with that in the photography world?
I've I've never really had to deal with that with the images.
Mm-hmm.
Dealt with that in other aspects. Sadly, photography, I guess any kind of creative career
Yeah.
has the haters, I guess. I don't know how else to say it, but
I mean
why did that person
that's
get that
pretty
job?
accurate.
you know
Haters is
yeah,
pretty
it's
accurate. It's still a relevant word in today's lingo.
yeah. And it's I've dealt with that in this career. I'm the first person that's going to sit there and help like a new photographer coming up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you all of my knowledge, but I will walk you through stuff. I will help you with your photos or your camera or whatever. And um,
Yeah.
I'm the first person to do that because somebody did that to me, years ago. And I've 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 come up across a couple mean girls, I would say, and um, a lot of things kind of like roll off my back. Like, I'm a Gen X. We used to fling each other off the playground, so it's gonna take a lot to hurt my feelings. But it was kind of shocking. that their to your face is, oh my gosh, I appreciate you, how da da da, but behind your back, they're like, she shouldn't be doing that. Why is she doing
Yeah.
published? Why is she doing this job? Why is that? Why is she getting, with the referrals, whatever?
Yeah.
It's
We've had
it
conversations
sucks.
about a few of those a few times
Yeah.
actually. Um it's definitely kind of like that petty like bitterness or like
Hmm.
just overall like just it's like they're internally upset with themselves because they didn't give like their full potential of it, you know what I mean? And then they probably see
Right.
some flaws in their own work, and instead of admitting their flaws, it's easier to pick apart somebody who actually got that place that maybe they wanted, and they're just like, I'm not ready to admit my faults here, essentially.
Yeah. Well, and I think some are just, they're probably mean girls in high school,
Yeah.
and they want to make themselves feel better by putting other people down, or, so forth. And I ain't got time for that. Like, I'll be the first person to, build you up versus knock you down,
Yeah.
and I'm the kind of person that if I don't like you, I will tell you to your face. I don't have no problem with that. So some
My
of these girls I no longer have association with, which is, I don't have time for that negativity. Life's too short. Life's too
It
short.
really is.
So
It really, really is. It's crazy to see that in I mean in the photography world, like you wouldn't think as an outsider kind of looking in that it could be so high school esque as far as the
yes.
drama or the shit talking goes, or like just the negativity of it, because it's like there are hundreds and thousands of different styles of doing
Hmm.
the same shoot, and just because it's not your cup of tea, or somebody's getting attention that you want, it shouldn't justify means to go ahead and pick apart that person. You would think it would be more motivation for you to change something within yourself to go ahead
Right.
and like grow as a creator. So
100%. It's every job or career or thing like that. You have to find your tribe, basically,
yeah.
and I believe in that 100%. And I found mine now. I have some amazing ladies that we build each other up.
Yeah.
We run ideas through. We'll be the first person to say, "Bitch, you fucked up. That's not right." Um, and we will check ourselves and check each other. So I love these ladies to death, and I'm glad I found them. And it's, if you're gonna be that hateful, ju- this is, go do something out. Go find Jesus. Go find something, because you know it's insane to me. It just, like I told the one girl years ago, I was like, I don't got time for your drama. At the time I had a teenage daughter. That's all
Yeah.
I need. You know, um,
Yeah, I can imagine
I
Kayla was a lot. I've heard stories.
oh yeah, I love her to death. She if she was my first kid, she probably would have been the last one.
I believe
She
it.
was
I believe
so
it.
she challenged me in ways that I appreciate it now. I guess as she's a grown woman, and she's independent and headstrong, and I don't have to really worry about her.
Well, you guys have a really
So
good relationship now that she's an adult too, right?
we do. We're like best friends.
Yeah. You guys are really
It's
close.
I love it because we talk pretty much every day, whether it's a text or a FaceTime or a phone call,
Yeah.
which is something that I kind of wish I had with my mom, because she's been gone for about 10 years now, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't appreciate people until they're gone sometimes. So I
Mm-hmm.
try to make it to where I'm not saying what if or having regrets. So I want them to know that I'm always there for them, and I enjoy, whether it's a 5-minute conversation or 5-hour conversation.
Yeah.
Which is same thing. I kind of I with my clients, I treat them like my family. I
That's true.
spend time
You
with them
do.
and know them, and a lot of my clients over the years have actually become pretty good friends and family. Um,
I'm one of them. Jordan in chat.
I,
She's one of them.
we got a couple there, hint hint,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Well, I do have another question then in relevance to like the
Sure.
cutthroat aspect of the pettiness between photographers, right? Demonic, one of my buddies here in chat actually brought this up, and um I don't know if you've actually done like a concert with a photographer, like being the other photographer there, like trying to take pictures of the scene, but I do know that there was a project that you did partake in where there were several different photographers to show up for this one type of shoot. Wasn't there? Or there's like two or three of you or something like that. And you're both, I think my friend Jaden actually was in the shoot. And there were multiple photographers you were working together, like collaborating on it. Has there ever been an issue when you're collaborating with another artist on the same shoot where there's been like almost like territorial behavior on like the better angles or like has there ever been toxicity in that kind of experience with you?
A little bit. When I do a concept shoot,
A concept
for other
shoot, is that what it's
photographers,
called?
yeah, concept shoot,
Okay.
or a shootout. We don't have to call it a shootout. If
Okay.
we just want to try something new.
I'm not hip with the
Um,
lingo, so I wanted to make sure
yeah,
here.
like if when I first got smoke bombs before I did like your shoot and some of the other ones,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to try it out. So I got a couple senior models, and we all learned together. But I put it out there in a couple of the groups that I'm in, and I said, hey, I'm getting this concept shoot together. We're just gonna have fun. It's just we're gonna learn some new things, whatever. There's probably like five or six had shown up, which is fine. I don't any more than that. It does start getting to where it's too territorial.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing the shoot, I like to set the ground rules right when they get there. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, these are my models. These are the girls or guys or families, whoever that I got. So please be respectful. This is my concept shoot. I will let you guys shoot and direct and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but all questions come back to me basically. Um, and I've never really had a problem so much with any of that. I have had a couple that have like, if I'm in there shooting and I'm explaining to like say a newbie who doesn't
Yeah.
know why we're posing them this way or why we're shooting at these settings. So I'll take the shot and I'll try to explain to them. I've had photographers come in front of me and try to shoot when I'm shooting, and it's like, you back up, you're in my bubble. I've just had to say, hey, you can wait 2 seconds, I'm helping so and so. And it's pretty respectful that way. It's there's a couple that you kind of have to put them in their place a little bit in the beginning. So if
Yeah.
I do that, I tend to not have the problems. If I go to a shoot or a concept shoot or a shootout or anything with other photographers that they have done,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it more. Um, I kind of stand back and observe a lot. I'm the kind of person I like to see how other people shoot, how other
Yeah.
people pose, how I don't necessarily need to get the shot because I currently have 30 sessions I have to edit, including a wedding. So I
Oh
don't
God.
need to shoot. You know, I like to, network. I like to see how other people shoot, how they communicate, how they style their clients, for example. And
Yeah.
that's what I try to get out of it. And I step back, and I have seen mostly the younger ones that aren't. Um, I don't want to say classic, but um, they're really green in the field. They
That's a good way to
haven't,
put it. Yeah.
they're learning. They're like puppies. They're learning. So, but
How
yeah,
did you
it's
get into photography? When did you decide that this is
so
something that you wanted to do?
it it's going to go back to the film days. When I was in high school, um, even before high school, I have to go back. Um, Back in the old days, they had disposable
Back
cameras
in
with
my time.
it was film back in my time, uphill both ways, but um, it was disposable cameras, and
Okay.
everybody always used to get me the disposable cameras, and I would set up my Barbies, I would set up my brother, I would set up my cousins, I would do whatever I could to do a shoot. And I think my parents kind of got really tired of developing the film. Um,
Can't imagine
I wish I
why.
had some. Yeah, we've had some weather damage over the years, so I don't have any of those. I wish I had those. Um, but then in high school, I kind of got into it again. Um, and this time I was like, I wonder if this is what I could do. Of course, I had family that said it's not a real job, it's not a real career. You need to go to
Mm-hmm.
school, you need to do this. So I did some work for the newspaper and stuff like that. And, then as your family is the one telling you you can't do this, so you believe that you can't do this. I went to college and I hated it. I went for a full year. I hated sitting in a classroom. I hated the books. I hated the studying. I was not comfortable and didn't know what I wanted to do. It was like, I know this is not it. Um, some did some odd jobs here and there. Always worked. Met my husband.
Mm-hmm.
We After our oldest was born, we ended up getting stationed here. And when he started deploying, is when I started picking up a camera again. Because
Oh, okay.
when your spouse is deployed, and when he first started deploying, I know a lot of these newer spouses, there's FaceTime and there's all these things you could do.
Yeah, but you didn't
When
have
he
that
was
back when he
deploying,
was deploying.
no, no, it was letters.
Mm-hmm.
It was one phone call a week. Um, so it was very hard. So I picked up the camera and started documenting the kids growing, so I didn't feel that he lost anything. I
Oh,
would, yeah, I didn't want him to feel, I mean, because Korea for a year, he was in Saudi for 9 months, he was in Afghanistan for 6 months, so
yeah.
in that time frame, your kids grow, their personality, all these things happen. So I started falling in love with it again, but never thought about a career just because here I am. We had Kayla, then we had Nick, and then it was
Mm-hmm.
more deployments, and then, my mom got sick, his mom got sick. It was, all these things that started wrapping up, and I put my passion aside so I could help raise my kids. And you still have that doubt in your head of your family going, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Um,
People don't
so that
realize how
was
much
that was
that
my
sticks with you or how long that sticks
it
with
does
you.
it does.
Yeah.
Um, when the kids started getting older and I knew that they could start fending for themselves, like at home, for example, my husband said, try it. What's the worst that can happen? You're never going to know unless you try. So I took a beginner, because at this time we've gone from film cameras to Polaroid cameras to now digital.
Yeah.
So I took my first class with a digital camera, and oh my god, I thought, I can't do this. I'm not comprehending it.
Overwhelmed.
um it was very
Yeah.
overwhelming. So then somebody stepped up and we became good friends. We've been friends now for probably about 12 years now. She stepped up and kind of would say would be my mentor.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it so much because she dumbed it down enough, which is not saying that I'm dumb, but she dumbed it down to where I could click and then
Yeah.
start um, the ball rolling. So then it was like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I took out my daughter and her friends and started shooting. I took out my son. Hey, I'll do a free maternity shoot. I'll do this. Let me practice. And people trusted me and believed in me. And I have clients to this day that stuck with me from day one. And I go back at some of their photos and I'm like, how the hell did you stick with me? I sucked 10
So
years ago.
I was
You
about
know?
to say, so this has only been for like the last little over a decade that you've been
Yeah.
doing this. So was
Yeah.
I one of your first, like, was I, when I went to you with my maternity shoot, were you still kind of
Yep.
green?
Yep.
I did not even know that. I thought
Yeah.
when I got my pictures back from you and how you were professional wise, like, I thought you had been doing this for at least a decade prior.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And
That
I
that
swear to
that's
you,
that's
the
good.
the ones, and I remember going to get a pair of $3 press-ons at Dollar General to go ahead and show off my my little engagement ring, right? And to go ahead and make
Yeah.
sure that you can get my hand on my belly I wanted my fingers to look good, and they looked like ass. But when I got those photos back from you, Kim, I was like, you could never even tell that they were press ons. You couldn't even tell that, like, I was a nail biter or that my hands looked weird like sausages or, like you made me feel so beautiful in that shoot. And I had struggled so much with body dysmorphia when I was pregnant with Tobias. I had no idea that you were still technically green if you really like boil it down. I really thought you'd been
Yeah.
doing it for like 10 years prior to that.
That means I did something right. Like
Yeah, dude.
I can talk to anybody. Sometimes my husband laughs at me because he says, "Okay, that's enough." Shorten the story, basically, is what he says. Um,
That's what
but
happens
I,
every time we talk when I would do parent pickup. Me would be yapping for like an hour, and John would be like, didn't you come here like an hour ago to pick up your
oh,
kid?
okay.
Yeah, but we started talking.
In that defense, I've been stuck with little kids that no, stop, don't bite, whatever. So when I get an adult, I'm
Exactly.
like, you know. But no, I feel you with the body images and stuff because I suffered from that growing up as a teenager myself. When you have family members that are questioning you, should you really eat that because you're getting kind of chunky?
Yeah.
Um, I was literally a size 7'8" when I was in high school, and I think I was 120 pounds. And when you have family members calling you chunky and this and that, and
Yep.
you know, it's still I'm 50 years old and it's like I still sometimes look in the mirror going, "Oh my god,"
I'm
But
28, have had
I don't
two
want my clients
kids.
to
I'm
feel that
5'2", and I
way.
still look at my body and I don't give myself enough credit. Like you brought life into this world and you
Right.
look good. Like why are you being like this? Yeah.
Because and the reason they are is because society tells you that.
Mhm.
I try to tell my clients and my seniors especially, um, those are photoshopped. You look at
Mhm.
any kind of beauty magazine that is photoshopped to extreme.
Mhm.
Those are not real people. You're a real person. And I try to make whether you're pregnant or it's an engagement or my senior, I try to make you rock it. Like you're killing it. You are an amazing person, and you look beautiful. And I want my clients to feel that way. And 9 times out of 10, they do tell me that, thank you for such a fun shoot. You made me feel good. And that's half of my job right there.
Mhm.
Is just to sit there and let you feel good in your skin because you can probably relate to this is how many moms are not in front of the camera.
All the
How
time.
many moms have yeah, how many moms are
All of
getting
us.
the husband to be in the kids because they don't want to be in front.
Yeah.
I still struggle with that. I'm getting better.
I've
I'm
I've
getting
had to
better.
train myself that when Corey takes photos or videos of me and the kids, I know when I look at the photo that I I already feel like I'm bigger than what I am, but when I look at the photo, I also see that I'm bigger than I am. I know sometimes the camera angle just isn't really flattering either. Like it
Right.
does sometimes make you
That's
look
another one of my
different.
jobs.
I get that. But I have started train myself where there are like at least 100 photos that he's tagged me in of me and the kids where I just look at it and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. You put that on Facebook? But I have to stop because I'm like, you know what? He wanted to make sure that I have this memory.
Uh-huh.
My kids aren't worried about the way that I look. They don't think that I'm fat or that I'm ugly or that this is pudgy or that,
Nope,
they didn't care about any of
nope,
that.
not
You
at
know what
all.
my kids thought of? My kids thought of, holy crap, mom got in this ice cold water with us and was jumping out of the waterfall with us on these rocks. Like,
And
you know
you
what I'm saying? Like that's what they remember.
you saying that is pretty much what I tell my clients. I have a lot of moms that will tell me, I haven't had a shoot in so many years, can you make me look good? Can you pose me? And I'm like, I got you, mom. I got you.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, your kids don't see what you see. They see their
Mhm.
mom. They see, if we're at the creek, for example, they see that their mom got in the creek and was splashing with them.
Yeah.
They see that their mom was sitting there on a blanket while they brought you a flower.
Yeah.
That's what they see. And I want these moms, to make sure they have these memories with their kids. I don't have a lot with my mom, which I think is part of the reason I am the way I am because I have some when I was a little, but not a lot when I was growing up. Um, and I regret that.
Yeah.
Um, I I try to get in, like I try to get. It's hard to get my group together because they're so spread out. But I wish I could get like a selfie with each of my kids at least. I'm not very
Yeah.
good at selfies, which is I always get the well, you're a photographer. Well, I don't do selfies, okay? But um, I always want a picture with them because I want them to look back when I'm gone. And maybe part of that is also because I did have a health scare 3 years ago,
Yeah.
where
I remember
I
that.
almost was not here.
Yeah, that
So
was terrifying. And I'm not even bloodly related to you or anything of the sort. And I was terrified. So I can only imagine.
it made me really grab life with both hands, basically. Like I don't regret anything. Like I always make sure I tell people I love them. I if I have something to say, I'm gonna say it. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people don't get a second chance at life. Um, and that's why, like I said, the Mean Girls and all the comments, even from before, if being Gen X didn't bother him, then almost dying, yeah, you can't hurt me. Come on. Um, so yeah, it's but these moms, like I said, dads don't have that problem. Dads don't care. Um, but yeah, moms, I wish they would look at themselves the way that their kids see them, and
Yeah.
that's part of my job.
I think some
So
dads care more than they actually lead on, but they don't, it's a different type of care. Not that they don't think of themselves when they see pictures, of like how
yeah,
they see themselves differently. Like not that they don't get insecure because I feel like that's a common thing, but I feel like dads don't think of it to the level that moms overthink it.
no, they
Yeah.
don't, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, what is Hold on, I'm so sorry. I lost my questions. I have a whole list of questions, and I knew this might end up being a little bit longer of a podcast because that's just what happens when we talk. So I'm prepared
that's
for
right, that's right.
it. What is your favorite session to shoot out of all the sessions?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, paid sessions, I would have to say, are my seniors. I love their personality. I love the uniqueness. I love their style. My free sessions are got to be my concept shoots, from my Halloween shoots to
Yeah,
um,
I'm excited to show
making.
everybody those.
Yeah. So um, those are my top two. Um, could be, and I think part of it is because they're like different. Shoot, my bathroom here is decorated in Halloween stuff, and 12 months out of the year. So I like different. I like unique. I like when somebody comes to me with an idea. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah,
So those are my top two. Those are my top two.
nice. What is your favorite time of the year to shoot?
Oh, probably fall.
Yeah,
Probably fall.
I think
Because
that's
of the
pretty
color.
accurate. Yeah, yeah.
I was out today. I had a family shoot this morning at 7:30 this morning, and I'm driving, and I'm like, oh, I'm not a fan of the rain and the cold, but the colors and the smells, I guess, is my favorite time.
Yeah. I do like a little bit of like a slight a slight little briskness. A slight
Yeah, a little bit, not
little
50
bit.
degrees.
No. No. I hate the Midwest cuz that's all you get. Um I think that's pretty accurate for you though. I think you do tend to be happier when you're shooting around this time of year. I think this is like your
Yeah,
prime time to shoot. I think it also correlates to the fact that Halloween is probably your favorite holiday too. So it's like right around the time like this is Kim's month right now. Like this is it right
yeah.
here.
And then it starts getting September, and it's like, ooh, the butterflies and this. I can't wait to do something, and yeah,
If you could
I love it.
shoot at one place for the rest of your life, where would you choose?
Like state or like location, like anywhere. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
anywhere. For the rest of your
yeah,
life, you had to choose a place. Where would you choose?
I would probably
Jordan
say
asked the question.
something
She said
woody.
location.
Okay, location.
Hmm.
It would
And
have
it
to be
could be,
somewhere woodsy.
I was going to say, it could be somewhere you've already been, or it could be somewhere you want to go.
I would. Oh, hmm.
I know that's so tough because I have
That's
like,
a hard one because there's so many. Like,
I was just saying about that. Can you give me like a top five?
Okay, so I would love to go shoot in the desert. I would love to go shoot
Oh,
in like Nevada.
that'd be
I've
cool.
seen I have a friend that lives over there, and some of her pictures, I'm like, ooh, I've never shot there. I've never shot in a desert. I used to live in the desert. I used to live in New Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Um,
did.
so yeah, so it's like, why? But no, I think that's one of my top. One of my other favorites is White Sands Missile Range National Monument. White Sands National Monument. I did do an engagement session there last November.
Okay.
Um, White Sands is in New Mexico. We used to go there all the time as kids, and Senior Ditch Day was there and everything like that. And it is there's no beach. It's all white sand, literally. But when you can
Oh.
get the light just right, it's gorgeous. I would love to go back and do another shoot there.
I don't know
Um,
if I saw those photos.
those there was it was a couple, it was a young lady and her
Maybe I
fiance.
did.
Actually, one of my best friends from high school. It was her daughter, so it was
It's
back
it's hard to
back in
see.
November.
It's hard for me to sit here and say that I didn't see some of yours because like usually when you post your stuff, like me and Jordan are like we're on it,
I,
you know. So
you
I
probably
probably
did. Oh
did,
yeah,
just
yeah,
don't
you
recall.
saw it. That's my
Okay.
top two. I would love somewhere spooky. I would love like an abandoned mental hospital, which oh my god, it's gonna make me sound crazy.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
would
But
love to
continue.
do I would love to do like a broken down doll or um purge shoot like at an old insane asylum or mental hospital. Not necessarily inside, just because light is crazy. Um,
Yeah, never mind like
I
the
don't want
poltergeists or the ghosts or the haunting entities or anything like that. And just the
you
lighting
know,
isn't really
it's just the lighting. I'm not worried about anything. It's just the lighting. But
right.
I think because John can tell you, my husband can tell you, when we're driving and I see the most run down, I'm like, God, I want to shoot there. I want, and he'll look at me like, what are you talking about? Because like where we shot your purge set,
Oh yeah.
I love that location.
Dude, I love
I
that
love
location. It is so good.
and people look at me like, oh my God, this woman's gonna get us killed. She's gonna, we're gonna
I
get
would
lost
say
in
like
this.
if we could bring stuff with us to help with the lighting but shoot at nighttime, if we didn't have to
Oh
worry
yeah,
about the people that are around there.
right.
Remember remember when quick little side step here so we can share with people. We'll show you guys the photos. But we went to go to downtown St. Louis to go take these photos for the purge last year. And I was covered head to toe in blood. So there was 2 days that we did it. The first day I was the only one who showed up because everybody else got the times wrong. So the first day
Right.
it's just me and Kim. I'm covered head to toe in blood. I have a fake weapon in my hand. I'm rotating between like four or five of them. I have a set of chains around my neck. I have literally blood all over me. I'm wearing a purge mask. And there's this guy who I think was either on his high or coming down from his high. I'm not sure. But he turned
Yeah.
around and he saw me and he went completely white and just ran the opposite direction as
Yes, he
fast
did.
as he could.
Yes, he
He
did.
was terrified.
Oh, which is funny. That remember the rave that was going on down the street too.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had the
I do
security
remember.
guards and they were like looking at us like, what do
They
we?
were staring because I remember because the location like it sent me to the rave. So it was there
Yeah.
the first day. The second day when we came back with everybody else, there was no rave there.
No,
So it was
no.
like a pop up location or something like that, like one of
Yeah,
those types
it's
of
pretty cool.
raves. It was pretty cool. I was like, damn, we should have went in there. It
And
looked spooky.
that's why I love those kind of places because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, they
Um,
looked at me kind of crazy too when I was walking around because I had these sparkly shoes, like studded, like combat boots that were completely sparkled all the way around, fishnets, booty shorts, a white t shirt with blood all over it. And they looked
whatever.
at me
Yeah.
and they're like, what the fuck is going on right now? I felt like I should have wore a sign like, it's fake blood. Sorry, it's fake.
No, you need to get. Don't worry, it's not my blood.
Yeah, that
I'm cool.
too.
I'm good.
That too.
It's not mine. It's not mine. So yeah, I
Let's
think those are
see.
probably my top three. I would love, even though I shoot at Carlisle Lake, so make it look like it's an ocean. I think I would love to go shoot at like an ocean. Um, I don't know if I would want California or Florida. Florida probably because it's warmer, but I would love like a sunrise or a sunset beach shoot. I've never done that either, so
That'd be
that is on
cool.
a
You
bucket
know,
list.
you should do it on the Gulf side though. I witnessed a sunset on the Gulf side of Florida, and when I tell you that I can never go back to the Atlantic side. Like I'm telling my parents, like they have to come visit me in the over in the Pensacola or something. I'm gonna be like, you have to
Yeah.
drive 5+ hours to come see me. I know I came all the way down here to see you, but I'm not going on that side of the ocean. I'm not joking. Those sunsets were the most
Hmm.
beautiful, and we have some pretty cool ones in the sky here in the Midwest, like over the arch and
Yeah.
stuff. They look really pretty. They're really colorful. Don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you, down there when I saw there's like this ridge of rocks. I'll send you the picture actually because me and Corey
Yeah.
both took
Yeah.
some. I know I posted it, but I'll send it to you so you can look at it again. But it was just such a beautiful shot, and I was like, oh my god, yeah. Papa said the color is more vivid in the Gulf. It was like a whole different experience. Like I didn't even feel like I was still in the United States. I thought I was in a different country or something. I was like, this is fucking
Oh,
gorgeous.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah, dude,
awesome.
it was. Oh my god, it was so cool. Um, I do have a lot of specific questions here for you as far as photography
Okay.
goes because one of my friends who is in the chat and sending me yet another one, he has about 11 questions for you now. He loves photography. He's really interested in this. So he has some couple good ones.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so we'll start with the one in chat. He says, if you could shoot a historical figure, who would it be and why?
Oh man.
Yeah, I have some really good ones for you. So get that
You know,
brain thinking.
I would love to shoot probably Cleopatra.
Oh, I did
Um,
not expect. I don't know what I was expecting. I did not. I wasn't expecting that at all, though.
Probably, I am a big fan of Roman and Egyptian and Greek
Yeah.
literature. Which, if you know my pets, all my pets' names are Roman and Greek. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm fascinated with that, and I've always been fascinated with Cleopatra. Probably because she was one of the first more badass women
Yeah.
that I've ever read about or watched. And I would love, and you look at the way they dressed back then and the way they looked and the
Yeah.
make it just everything was
Extravagant,
fascinating.
extravagant, and
Yes.
fancy, and colorful, and just like I agree. That's actually a really good choice.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
what
that
I
would be
was
my top.
expecting from you, but that was I. That's a good one. That's a good choice. I like that.
And the
If
fact that she was a badass woman. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. She was, man. All right, okay. I need to calm down. Sorry, the bisexual in me is coming out right now. Sorry. If you had to start over as a photographer, what would you do differently?
I would not compare myself to others. That is number one. When I first started, I I followed so many photographers on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And I'm looking like, why does my stuff not look like this? Oh my God, I suck. You only have to be better than what you were yesterday. That is, I've had to drill into my head in over the past 10 years. I would never compare myself to others. And I tell every new photographer coming in, do not compare yourself to me. Do not compare yourself to anybody else.
Yeah.
You have to compare yourself to what you did yesterday because somebody might not like my work, and that's fine. You know, I have to like it. And that's my number one. That's my number one.
That's a good one. I think that really resonates with me as well as being a content creator and doing the podcast and playing video games and doing the stuff that I do. I'm not the first one to do it. I'm not the only
Right.
one to do it. And sometimes I'll look at my numbers, I'll get discouraged, and I'll be like, oh, well, what am I missing here? What do I got to do with this? And I've learned to, instead of stop comparing or like beating myself up. I've actually been taking notes of other people and different platforms and getting advice on like the stuff that they use or like the cameras they have or the mics they use or what programs. Troa is constantly helping me with my audio and stuff. I'm surprised he hasn't yelled at me yet during this stream about something with my audio. I know something's off. I just know it. But I'm taking advantage of the fact that he's not actually at his computer right now to yell at me properly.
Exactly. There you go.
So I think that's really sound advice. I think that's not just for photography, but I think that could be used pretty much all across the board, no matter how you look
Oh,
at it, no matter what you're
100%.
doing. Yeah, I like
100%,
that.
because there's so many people that feel they're quote imposters. They call it
Yeah,
imposter syndrome. And I'm like, do you love what you do?
yeah.
Are you happy when you do it? Are you good at it? Okay, good. Don't worry about what somebody
Hmm.
else is doing. You don't have to worry about you, because again, life is short, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You're not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't care. I drink coffee anyway, so let's go.
Shut the fuck up. Um, let's see. When coming up with the perfect shot for a client, what's your thought process? What steps do you take?
Well, what helps is every client, besides doing the contract and the consultation, I always send out a questionnaire.
Hmm.
Questionnaire is, what's your favorite music? What do you like about yourself? Don't you like about yourself? What do you like to do for fun? Questions like of
I
that
never got
nature.
a questionnaire.
That's because I didn't start them way back when.
Oh, that's
I've
fair.
only started
And
really
since then, you've
doing
probably gotten to
these,
know me enough to know these
right?
answers.
I know you. I know how I'm
That's
going to shoot
fair.
you and everything. Um, so I've been doing them probably really strongly the past 6 years. That's another thing I wish I had known back then, but again, you kind of live and learn. But um, so when I get these questionnaires and I research them and I read them and I read them and I read them, and then I figure out what location we're going to go at, um, I kind of start putting stuff in my head, like how I want to do things, and it helps if I've been to a location before, because I know what the best light is, I know where the best location is, I know how to do it. If I've never been to the location, it's a little bit more nerve wracking, and I kind of just go off the fly. Um, for example, if somebody tells me they don't like um, how big they are, for example,
Yeah,
then I'm gonna put you in different poses to make you feel good, you know.
yeah.
And then I go through a list in my head of what I'm gonna do. So yeah, the questionnaire helps a lot. It helps me get to know my client, and what helps is when I have return clients. Like the family I photographed today, I've photographed them like 6 times, so I knew exactly. I didn't have to think. It automatically came to me how I'm gonna pose them, what combinations, which kid's gonna do what. So that helps. That helps. I might not remember what I went into the other room for, but I can sure tell you how to pose somebody.
That's fair. That's fair. Next question is Sony, Canon, or Nikon? Nikon. Nikon? Nikon?
Nikon all the way.
Nikon.
Nikon all the way. Yeah,
Nikon all the way. So
all the
you'd
way.
say,
And
he goes, which one for
it's
beginners and which one's for professionals? You say Nikon all the way, though?
I my very first okay. It's all depends. They all three cameras will do amazing things with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Best advice I got was somebody told me go into the store, pick up each camera, pretend you're shooting with it, take some practice. If you go like to Best Buy, you can take some like fake shots or whatever. Um, Grab the one that feels right in your hand. I did not like the way Canon felt. And when I went to the Nikon, and it sounds so corny when you say it out loud, but I went to the Nikon and it just fit. It literally just fit. It was easy for me to learn. It was easy for me um, to use. Canon, I've tried, my friends, and I'm like, wow, I felt like I, lost 100 IQ points, and it's not, it's just, I don't know how it is for everybody. For me, that's how it was. So I trust my Nikon, love it. But
Was
I
the
have
Nikon
friends that
just like
shoot
an easier, you said it was like an easier learning process, like an easier interface to go
for
ahead and
me.
get
Yeah,
acquainted with it?
and it felt better in my hand.
Had you had
The
a
body of
Nikon prior to getting your first one? Had you had a Nikon in the past?
no,
What the hell?
no. I've had a Sony before, a
Okay.
Fuji, I think was one.
Oh, I remember
Um,
Fuji's. I had
yeah,
one. Yeah.
old school.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, to me, Nikon just fit. It's like you know when you know.
Like
So
buying a baseball glove.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Or the right pair of shoes, you know.
that's fair. Okay. Um, thoughts on prime lenses, yay or nay?
They have their uses.
I don't know
I
what a
in
prime lens is. I'm literally reading his question. Can you tell
So
me
a
what a prime
prime
lens is?
lens is it only shoots at one focal length. The Nifty 50, the 85, those are prime
Okay.
lenses.
Okay.
So I everybody told me when I started, you have to get a Nifty 50. You have to get a 50. It's the most amazing lens ever. Well, I hate it. I don't like it. I spent $700 on this thing back then, and some of these lenses, especially prime lenses, it's called a sweet spot. You have to find the sweet spot, and what that sweet spot is the image in focus, basically. Um, so I personally, I have a 24 to 70, and I have a 70 to 200. So I have my 24-70, which I use in studio a
hmm
lot, or if I want a wide shot. Um, my 70 to 200 I use for everything else. Um, So I'm not a fan of prime lenses just because of what I shoot, for example. For example, I had a welcome home session last Monday, which a welcome home session is a deployed member's coming home. The spouse gets a hold of me and wants to do reunion photos,
You usually do
especially if they have
those like pro
kids.
bono too, don't you? Because you come from a
Yes,
military
I do not
background.
charge for those. No, I do not
Mm-hmm.
charge for those. Because military spouse.
Mm-hmm. I think that's something really cool
I've
that
been
you've always offered for people. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Some charge, which that's their right. They can charge. I
Mm-hmm.
personally don't charge for deployment. But I had a welcome home, and the kids didn't know dad was coming home. They thought dad was coming home next week. So mom said that they were there to pick up grandma. So I had to be behind mom and kids, so they didn't because these are not 2 year olds. This was like I think a 10-year-old and like a 7 year old. So they're pretty smart kids. So if I'm standing next to mom with a camera, they're gonna know something's up. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to stand behind them. So I needed my 70 to 200 so I could get a longer focal length. So what I shoot, this is what I need. So, but I'm not knocking prime lenses because they do have their uses. Just for me, no.
Okay. Let's see here. Does the size of the sensor really matter? Apps, APS-C, APS-H, full frame, etc.
Um, you'd have so many professionals that say yes,
Okay.
but then you have professionals, and I'm gonna go back to the photographer that I mentioned earlier, Sal. So he has a studio here in O'Fallon, and he
Mm-hmm.
has a photography conference called Shutterfest. About 5 years, I've attended every year for the past 10 years. So about 5 years ago, I volunteered. I wanted to be the one running around with the photographers and helping them. I took a class with a photographer named Brian DeMint. This guy was like your crazy uncle. And I absolutely love this guy. This guy was a world renowned, high fashion, published photographer. He shot with a crop frame camera, a 35 lens, and a garage light. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And he goes, it's not the equipment, it's the photographer. And I took that to
Okay.
heart because I'm like, you're right. This man has been published like in big, we're talking Vogue and we're
Oh,
talking,
really?
those high end. Yeah. And I'm listening to him like, you only have a crop camera? Because crop camera and a full frame, like I have a full frame just because the image
Mm-hmm.
is larger.
Yeah.
It's basically all it is. I don't have a mirrorless yet. That's the new one, the mirrorless. I don't even know if I'm gonna get that one. But so going back, so when he told me this, I was like, "You are creating beautiful works of art with this." When everybody said you can't do anything with that, that's for beginners. That's for whatever. So you're only limited by your own imagination, basically. If that's all you can afford is a crop camera and like a prime lens, then create beautiful, artwork with it. If you want to do a full frame and, then go for it. So it personally depends on the, I would say artist, if it matters. For me, it
Okay.
really doesn't. Like my biggest thing is the glass, which the glass is the lens.
Mm-hmm. And what's your so the lens? So what do you mean by that? What do you mean your biggest thing is the glass?
So my lens, let me see if I can grab it. Oh. So this
Okay.
is my baby. This is my
Yep.
7200. This thing is what, probably 10 pounds, 12 pounds. This is what I use to create my stuff. And I don't go anywhere without that lens. That from hockey to my Halloween shoots to my seniors to even maternity, whatever. So this lens alone cost me 2 grand, probably
Jesus.
about 7 years ago. Um, and that was a lot of money for me back then. That was a lot
Yeah.
of money.
It's a lot of money for
So
anybody anytime.
yeah, I invested in that.
That's 2 grand, Kim.
So
No, like no matter which way you flip it, that's a lot of money.
oh yeah, when I walk into the house with my camera bag, I'm like, ooh, yeah. So yeah, I invested just in the lens, the glass. So
Okay. Let's see here. We're finally we have a couple questions here. Two serious or one serious one not really a serious, but hey, you never know kind of one. And then I think we're gonna
right,
go
right.
ahead and wrap things up with showing them some of the photos from the shoot. Now I know
Cool.
you can't see the
Cool.
screen unless you actually pull up my stream to go ahead and look at it. So I'm gonna just say out loud which one it is and which one we're looking at, so you know what I'm showing chat basically.
Okay.
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 So first off, what's always in your camera bag that a layperson would never think of?
I have a sewing kit.
What?
I have a little sewing kit that has needle and thread. It's also got bobby pins. I have safety pins. I have Q-tips. You just never know. You could be shooting. I'm gonna use it for my seniors.
Yeah.
You need to sew
I mean
something up
that
real quick, or you need a
that
safety
makes
pin, something.
sense. Yeah.
Um, if I am shooting kids, okay, photographing kids. I'm not gonna say shoot.
Yeah.
Us photographers, we have a weird sense of humor, but when I'm photographing kids, I like to put Smarties in my camera bag to
Oh.
bribe them behind mom and dad's back. Say, hey, let's not beat up our brother or bite him during the shoot. I'll give you one of these. Those are two things that probably a lot of people don't even think about putting in their bag.
I would have never thought of that actually. I do like the idea of like some sort of candy to go ahead and bribe kids. 100%. I do. I do. I like that. Final question we have for you here is when I become a top 0.1% kick streamer, will you be my photographer?
100%. Let's go.
I already knew that
Let's
answer.
go.
Charlotte kind of put that in there, and I'm like, I already know the answer to this. Like, I hit up Kim to photograph me for anything. She's gonna do it. I could come to you and be like, hey,
What?
I'm gonna be like half naked in a hot dog costume, and I don't want you to ask any questions, but we need to film it on the bridge. And you're gonna be like, okay, which bridge am I meeting
Hey,
you at?
you bring me the wardrobe and the ideas, and I'll shoot it. Let's go. We'll come up with something.
Exactly, exactly. All right, chat. So we're
I
gonna go
got you.
ahead and actually show you guys some of the photos that Kim and I have done over the years, and we have a couple of hers that she has done, um, like not with me, but for a lot of us. So this is the first one here. This is one of the photos from my first boudoir shoot with you, actually, where I have the Cubs jersey on and I'm kind of like
Oh my
tilted on my
God,
side, like
yeah.
looking
Right.
down. I think my hair was absolutely stunning for this shoot because I still had that purplish and silver kind of look in my hair that
Uh-huh.
was going on. You get a perfect little like blurred out image of like where my tattoos are, like my thigh tattoo. Obviously my boobs look great. I mean, there's no denying that. The girls were girling, Um, so that was one. And then I missed let's do this is the one that was published that we were talking about. So this was the purge one with the red smoke behind me and I'm pointing out at the camera. That was probably one of my favorite ones. That was the one that actually got us published and it's photographer, but they have like the her capitalized in it, right? Or photograph
Yeah,
her.
because it's all women. It's all women.
Yeah.
It's a magazine about all women
Yeah.
photographers.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one. That was part of the purge one that we did last year. And then this is another purge one. It's black and white of you did that when we all risked sitting down on glass in the streets. But you're at the angle where, like you're looking down kind of at me. Or you're
Yeah.
looking up at me. I'm looking down at you with like the bat up like
Yeah.
this. That was part of the purge shoot. That was pretty fun actually. The other one where I'm taking the sledgehammer and getting ready to hit it at the camera. That was really
Yeah,
fun. It
that's
was
the other
definitely
one that was published.
that was the other one that was published too. Yeah, that one was the the mask still gets me. The mask is still kind of creepy when I look at it and I'm just like, yeah, this is Kim Britton all over it. Like this is
Oh, I love it.
this
Ugh.
is it. Oh, that one didn't download. That's fine. The other one, me walking in the street with a sledgehammer. So that's another one from the purge shoot that we did. A different mask that we used. Um, I really do love the other boudoir one. It's another black and white, and it's kind of like you're looking at like a down from an upwards angle from me. So this time instead of like being kind of faced on, it's like you're up top kind of
Yeah.
looking at me. And that one just like my forehead doesn't look as big. My makeup looks gorgeous. You see my little baby hairs. They're like just everything about this photo like screams to me where it's just like, God damn, this girl is sexy. I had never felt so hot in my life than when I got these photos back from you. I was like, if I had a
And that was my
penis, I'd
first
suck
time
it, you
shooting
know?
boudoir. That was my
That
first
I
time shooting
know.
boudoir too.
I know. And
So
Kim,
yeah.
you fucking nailed it, dude. You nailed it. Like me and you during this photo shoot, we worked so well together that it was just like absolutely it was stunning. Like nothing competes.
You
And I've
listen.
I've I've done another boudoir shoot. I called you after I got my photos back from that one. I called you
Yep.
crying about it because I was just like,
Yep.
there's three good photos. And I was so
And what I
upset.
say, that's why you should have come with me.
I know, but it was a deal.
I
Oh,
know. I know.
this is a head-on one that I took of the Freddy Krueger shoot when we got a close-up of me wearing like the
Oh,
leopard
when we're in the
hat, and then we
graveyard.
had
Yeah.
the yeah, but this one's like a close-up one, so it's like it shows my makeup, like the scar tissue that she did
Oh,
of
yeah,
my
yeah.
makeup, and it's just me looking dead at the camera, like oh my God, I loved the makeup for that shoot. That
She
shoot
did a
was
great job on all you
dude.
girls. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, another angle from the boudoir one. That Cubs jersey just did something. I think having a jersey or like a button down, some sort in the boudoir photos is definitely it's it definitely accents in the images very well. You know what I mean? Like
And it
having a
makes
button
it does.
down.
It makes women feel more comfortable because I've met a lot of women that don't feel comfortable wearing full lingerie. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude,
I was one
get
of
your
those
husband, your
women.
boyfriend. Yeah.
I
And
was.
it hides things that you don't want people to see, and it kind of accentuates other stuff. So,
Yeah.
oh
No,
my,
it really made me feel good. We have the other photo. I think this one, what's cool about, so this is a purge one. It's of me, and I'm standing by that big light post. And what's really cool about this photo is that this one was not taken with your camera. This is the one you took with my phone. but you got like the perfect angle of it. And the way you got in on that photo, it looks like it was done. Well, I mean, it was done by a professional. But what's really cool about this is that you just took a regular old cell phone and made this photo come out, and it is like so fucking cool. It was my favorites. I love this photo. I forgot about that. Oh God.
I did too. Oh my
Then
gosh.
the Freddy Krueger one, another one black and white when we were at the graveyard. That was a really cool concept to me, doing the graveyard
I
theme.
had fun. I had fun doing that. That was one. I don't know. I just wanted to do something with sexy women, and y'all killed it. Y'all killed
She
it.
thinks I'm sexy. This one is part of it too, actually. It was, remember how this one, I think we came up with this idea together because you had an idea of what you wanted to do, and I saw where you were walking towards, and I was like, what about this? And you went to the gate, and there's like that little spiral on the gate, and you focused your
Uh-huh.
lens through the whole of this spiral to get an image of me in the Freddy Krueger get up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We
Oh,
like
I love
that was like an
that. Yes.
on the spot in the moment decision between the two of us where we're just like, hey, let's fucking try this real quick. And you're like,
Well, then,
dude,
hey,
that
the
sounds
worst that can happen is it don't work out.
right. You're
But
like,
you know
dude,
what?
that
I'll
sounds
try.
really good. Let's
Try.
try it. And we did it. And we're like, holy shit, this is like one of the best ones. Start the whole thing. Like, it was so good. This is the photo with, I believe his name is Gabe, where you did it's in the water and it has the blue
Oh yeah.
smoke bomb coming out of it. Talk me through this image, actually. I want to know what your thought process was, how you came up with this idea to do this shoot.
So I wish I could take full credit for it. So, as you know, things have progressed from Facebook or MySpace, Facebook, and all that. So the new thing is TikTok, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's where you find people. So I was scrolling on TikTok one day, and I follow a lot of photographers, and they were doing this football in the water. And I don't have a football player. I have a hockey player. I never thought about something like that. And I was like, bet I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try my
Mm-hmm.
version. Gabe is one of my senior reps. He's from Muscuda. He's my only guy, and I said he's a football player. We are supposed to have like six other guys, but a couple were sick, and then some were injured. So it ended up just being Gabe, which was fine.
Yeah.
Um, so I said, you, this is my concept. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I want to try. And he said, let's go. So it was kind of hard because it was just me and him, and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
wish I'd had one other person to help with the smoke bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe rocked it out. So I said, I have a crazy idea. Let's go to this private beach that I know. Let's do that. He's like, okay. And the funny thing was, is I had a family there fishing who were watching the whole time and
Oh,
were
you
cheering
did?
us on. I didn't think they were going to be there, and they literally stopped fishing to watch us. And when we came out of the water, they all came over and said, "Can we see the back of your camera because that looked friggin' amazing?" And I was like, "Sure, I have no problem with that."
Yeah.
So it was, what can we do? Because Gabe has one arm because he's got to hold the smoke bomb in the other. So we kind of did some poses, like that. We did some fun ones where he was just coming out of the water. But yeah, it was. I haven't seen a lot with the smoke bomb, so I added the smoke. Most of the shots that I saw on TikTok were just the football players coming out of the water. So, I mean, I gotta add smoke.
Do
I gotta add
you
something.
do you remember when we did the smoke bomb? And I'm gonna show some of the pictures from that shoot. But it was the Michael Myers photo shoot that we did, and I had to hide in a bush because Matt was Michael Myers and he was standing up, and I had to hide in a bush so I can get a smoke going. And we thought the
Yep.
smoke was gonna blow in one direction because we all
Yep.
swore between the four of us the wind was going that way. I lit that bitch. And I'm getting smoked out like I'm a bee in a beehive. And I'm just like, Kim, I'm getting carcinogens in my lungs right now. I was like, I am dying. And you're like, one more, one more, one more. And I'm like, I swear to God.
So it's like it's only a minute long smoke bomb. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Dude. That was good. You do have a knack for that. Oh, here it is. The iconic. Anybody in chat, if you know the meme of the little girl in the yellow raincoat running with like a baton in her hands, this is her now. Basic. That's what this is.
All grown
Um,
up. She
we
grew up.
did a photo shoot where it was a different take on Michael Myers. Why don't you go ahead and talk us through that too? Explain to them this shoot that we did together.
So, I grew up on Halloween. Loved Michael Myers as a kid. The music, just oh my god, everything about it. So, I had done the Purge shoot. We already done the Purge shoot, and I was like, I want to do something else. I ordered this Michael Myers outfit and the mask, and I had nobody to be Michael Myers. So I asked my oldest, and I said, "Hey," he's like, "Sure, I'm down for it." I said, There's beer involved, you know."
Yeah.
Uh, so I was like, Halloween took place in Illinois. Couldn't really find a cornfield because I think at that time all the corn had been cut down, which
Yeah.
was like, what? So I said, well, we have this perfect place in Muscuda, this little bitty house, which kind of looks like, this little country house. And, Michael Myers is stalking somebody. But little did I know that there was going to be a football game going on, and
Oh
all the
God.
parents and the kids were walking by us as you're stabbing each other.
Yeah.
But hey,
We scared some kids that day. We definitely
yeah,
did. There was
they're
someone
video
that drove
games.
past and they looked and they're just like, "What
Yeah,
the hell is going on?"
some of them were generally concerned, I think.
I think they were.
I kind of didn't have a plan per se. I had like your and Chelsea's thing that I wanted to do. I wanted it to be like you guys were out there having a good time. I wanted Michael to come in. So I kind of had bits and pieces of a movie playing in my head, is how I wanted it to go. Um, I wanted you guys to run from him. I wanted him to carry one of you off. But I was like, okay, my kid doesn't have the best knees because of hockey. So I don't want him to have to
Hmm.
pick anybody up. So that's where it came he's going to pull your hair basically
Yeah.
and drag
I
you.
think I put that on the slideshow. I'm not sure if I did, but that was a good one. He did. He dragged me by my fucking hair.
Yeah. But then it
He
was
pulled a
like,
little too hard. I want you to know, and he did it on purpose.
he probably did. He probably did.
He did,
But
because it's me.
at the end, I mean, I did have one of you dying, quote, dying, which was Chelsea and him stabbing her. Um, but I wanted to change it up, and I wanted the villain to get it in the end, basically.
Yeah.
So that's the concept where you guys were fighting them, and at the end where you
Yeah.
guys were holding. So
Let's see.
it
There we
kind of just
go.
came
There's the picture.
together.
I have it. It's me and Chelsea sitting on the front porch. I'm holding the
Yeah.
mask. And then I'm holding the mask in this hand, leaned onto her. She's taking a swig of beer. I have a beer and a cigarette in my hand. We have blood
Yep.
all over us, and we're just looking like, dude, what the fuck?
That was wild. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that was
it
pretty
was
cool.
I had bits and pieces in my head. Didn't know how I was going to play it out, but you guys did great and listened. And went with everything that I thought. And you guys actually came up with some ideas too, which helped because I like
Hmm.
when I do a concept shoot like this, I do like input because you guys are putting your body and everything else in use for me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate any kind of feedback. Um, so yeah, it was kind of like a group effort at the end, I felt. So it was
I think it
just,
was a lot of fun because all of us are pretty creative. All of us really do like
yeah,
Halloween. I think me and Chelsea, like that was our first time meeting each other. We had never met each other before. And we
yeah,
had to pretend like we were best friends in the photo shoot. And within 30 seconds of us meeting each other, we practically were because we realized that yes, we were supposed to match in certain aspects. But we literally had like the same flannel, a white shirt, blue jeans, shorts, or whatever. Like we were literally fucking matching like head to toe. And we're like, we didn't
yep,
even try to do this, dog. Like this just happened. And
let's
I remember
go.
falling in love with you got like skinny pop or something like that, like a popcorn for a snack on.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
dude, this should taste so good. And I was just sitting there. I forgot at one point that we were like doing a photo shoot because we're just drinking beers and eating popcorn.
Yeah.
That was
Hey,
a lot of fun. I love that one. I do. I
you shoot with
do.
me, you'll get beer and food. Hey,
Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly. Let's see. What's another one? Oh, so here is the senior photographer or yeah. English is really hard.
thank you.
Um, thank you. The senior photo shoot that you did with the young lady in the record store.
Yeah,
This is one of your most recent ones and one of your favorites. Talk us through
yeah.
this one.
So she's a senior at O'Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
talking to mom. I did the questionnaire again. And I always ask, I was like, so when I was a senior, it was literally you sit in a studio, you have that black drape that's around you, and that's it. There was no personality, there was no uniqueness. So how I like to do it is I want the senior to bring their personality. Bring your A game. This is about you. I want you to look back on these memories and go, I love this. So talking to the mom and talking to her, she wanted to do the record store, vintage
Yeah.
vinyl here in St. Louis. And I was like, hey, you call them up and see if it's okay, and I'm down. I will do it. So they called up, and as long as we didn't interrupt or interfere with any of the customers, and if we got there kind of like first thing in the morning where there wasn't a lot of people, they were cool with it.
That's really cool.
Never shot at a record store before, so I was like, I was not sure about the lighting. I was not sure about poses. I was not sure. I literally racked my brain all the way there. We get in the store. I'm like, okay. So some things had to come on the fly. Other things, I was like, okay, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. Um, the colors in the store were amazing. I love the way the store is. It brings me back to my teenage years, which I love. But
Mm-hmm.
um, we had such a fun time laughing and joking, and I learned a lot. This girl was me back in 1980. You know, I mean, it's um just all about music, and
Yeah,
it was one of
Papa
my
says there's really good lighting in this store too in this picture.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing. You know, it wasn't like some dingy, all black walls, kind of like, which I was kind of afraid of. Um,
Kind of like
and
the comic book store in Lost Boys.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So besides, I've only had I think two senior sessions that I literally this was so cool because it was the first time to do it.
Yeah.
This the record store one, and I had a senior about 4 years ago that was a drummer, so we took him on top of a garage in St. Louis with an arch in the background. He set up his drums, and I had him playing his drums.
Yeah. Oh, why didn't we
So
bring that
when
picture
it's
on this? That
something,
would have been a cool one too.
something new and unique that I've never done tends
Mm-hmm.
to stick with me more.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying all my seniors that I've ever photographed are amazing kids, and I love their sessions, but there's just something about bringing something unique to the table that,
Yeah.
as a creative, it makes my senses go crazy. Like, I
Yeah.
am so freaking excited. I
Yeah.
hate being in this box. So when you bring me something, let's go. So yeah, that it worked out great. And actually, I just sent them their gallery today, so they should be seeing all their images today.
Awesome. Well, we have a couple more here. So this one actually is from mine and Jameson's baby shower, gender reveal shower, actually. So this is like a zoomed in one. I think I have two from this because really the cake is what did it for me. That cake was such a bitch to get. But it was like zoomed in of him actually pulling out the piece of cake that had the blue icing on the inside. Um,
Yeah,
to indicate that we were having a boy. So that was a really cool one. I definitely I uploaded those at the time with my last ex. I'd uploaded those onto Facebook, and we actually got into a big argument over it. And he's like, "Why are you uploading these photos of your gender reveal with your ex husband?" And I was like, because these are memories of me and my kids, and like I paid good money for these, so why wouldn't I do this? Actually,
all
I
right.
think this might have been a freebie shot, like the family, friends, and
Probably.
discount. But still, regardless, I'm going to cherish those because why wouldn't I? Like, you know. Um, let's see here. Oh, this is probably my favorite one. This is probably the only time that I show my kids here on stream. So guys, take it in while you can. This, me and Kim were just talking about this. This photo is pretty famous throughout my family and throughout all of Kim's followers on Facebook. We went to go take a photo shoot of me, a maternity shoot, when I was pregnant with my youngest, Steven. And my oldest son, my middle child, Tobias, was not having it that day. He was like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, I'm done. Um, I believe this was on SIUE campus, wasn't it? Or like right
Yeah,
outside the campus
this was at
or
the gardens.
the
The
gardens.
gardens at
Yeah.
SIU. Yeah.
And he went ahead and he was just walking away, and he walks across that bridge and throws his hands up and he's like, peace. And that was like a perfect moment. It goes to show that like what I saw happening in that moment, right? I didn't even recognize this specific moment because I'm flustered because I'm pregnant. I'm uncomfortable. We already got rained out once. We're back here again. I'm stressed out. My partner at the time was stressing me out. Um, and Tobias is just being he
You're the
oh
boy.
he's at JT's house right now and he just came in the chat and goes, Bubba says, hi, Miss Kim.
Hi, Bub.
He was being a very unkind child. And that's all I saw. And so when Kim sent me back these photos and I see this and I'm just like, how in the fuck did you? I know I'm trying to watch my mouth now because I know my kids watching, but how did you do that? I'm like, how do you capture these images? It was the same when we did. I didn't put these other ones in because it does show my kids' faces, but it was when I originally went to you to get headshots done. And though I wasn't
Oh
happy with,
yeah.
I was having a very bad day of feeling like, the body dysmorphia, and I was like, dude, I'm not feeling the images of me. I was like, but, I reached out to you, first of all, last minute to do those. Then last minute to be like, hey, I have the boys. Can you throw in some ones of me and the kids? And you're like, yeah, of course. And so again, another situation where I'm just stressed out. And what? Oh my gosh, I just had some random person come into my chat here just now. I have no idea. Anyway, um, but anyway, so those photos though, it was like the photos of them. You know what I'm saying? It was some of my favorite photos of those two together where I was just like, gee, what the hell? I was like, how did you do this? It's like absolute pure magic when you're taking these photos and you give them back to me. I have no idea how you do it. I get freaked out whenever I'm doing the shoots and the kids are like overstimulating me and they're like, up my ass. I'm just like, I'm about to knock you out. And then here goes Kim, send me back actual gold. Like these are some of my favorite pictures that I have of me and my kids are photos that I've gotten from you from our photo shoots.
Oh, so that's what I strive for. That's good to hear because, as you know, as a mom, like you said, stressed out. I think every mom comes to a shoot stressed, especially when they have little kids.
Yeah.
And teenagers not so much. But when you have little kids and you don't know how they're going to react, and I tell these moms, I said, you look at me, you let me
Mm-hmm.
deal with them. You don't worry about it because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Your kid at the age of 2 is not gonna be
Mm-hmm.
the same kid at the age of 8.
Yeah.
You're gonna look back at 2 and go his personality or whatever he was doing at the time. Um, that's their kid at the time. I've photographed families where their kid at 3 years old is the shyest and wants their lovey, and I get some amazing photos. But then I see the kid again at 6 and that kid won't stop talking and is making funny jokes and is doing all these things. So you have to understand that this is your kid at that time. You are documenting stages of life,
Mm-hmm.
and this is your kid's personality at this time. And it's so hard for us moms to take a step back and breathe and go, it's okay. It's okay. Because no kid is perfect. I'm not a posed photographer. I'm not one of those ones here, but do this. We kind of do a little bit of each. And
Yeah.
especially with kids, you can't do a post because they're even my kids, and they're what 30 and 25 and 21. Um, it won't be serious. So you have to know the personalities, and you have to work with them, and you have to be willing to pivot and change things up. And um, I, like you, I've had lots of moms get a hold of me and go, "Oh my God, I never thought you would get a picture of my kid smiling,
It
or
is.
the
It's
kid being
crazy.
wrong, or
It is.
so."
It's really cool seeing how seeing, like how the photos come out when we do like our creative shoots. It's another thing whenever you make me feel that I am this fucking goddess, when we did boudoir shoots. I shit you
Yeah.
not, Kim, those are my favorite ones, you know, and I
Oh,
don't feel like my body looks like that right now, but I'm gonna share it like it's fucking recent. I don't care. You know, I'm gonna pretend like I just took those yesterday. But those, and then, you know, also making, just taking the moments of where I feel really stressed out and I'm like, damn, these photos are gonna be like, we're not getting a single good one. Then you give it back to me and it's like nothing but perfect shots back to back to back. And I'm just like, I mean, that day with the boys when we did the headshots, Stevie was throwing the biggest fit. He was like, I don't want to
oh
do
yeah.
this. I don't want to do that. My Bubba's doing this. I don't want to do this. And then it's like they look thick as thieves. Um, but okay. So we have a couple other ones here. I don't know how many more. I don't want to keep you too long. I'm running out of time
Oh, you're
myself.
fine.
This is the one we did, or not we, but you did with the senior representatives. And it's the young lady in the white dress flipping her hair in the water. So that's a real
Yep.
cool shoot. How do you capture the right fucking moment? Because if I would have done that, I would have looked like a giraffe trying to pretend to be an ostrich in water. I don't know. Like it just would have came out like that.
It's She was willing to do it, which was not. This wasn't even a planned. They were going to get in the water because it was my plan with my reps was we're going to go to the beach, we're going to do a casual session, we're going to do a dressed up session. But you're going to take the dressed up session, you're going to go in the water. So when I asked her, I said, "Hey, I have an idea," and she was up for anything. I said, "Okay, this is why I have my
Mm-hmm.
reps." Because my reps are literally up for anything that I come up with. And I said, "Can you put your head in the water and then flip your hair back?" Because she had longer hair.
Yeah.
So you have to up your shutter speed first of all, which there's a triangle when you come to photography from your f-stop, your ISO, and your shutter speed, and I can go into detail later at another
We might
time
have
or
to do a
something. But
part two on this podcast, honestly.
yeah,
We might have to do a part two.
so shutter speed basically is how you stop action. So for hockey, I have to up my shutter speed to
Mm-hmm.
stop the action so it's not blurry, basically. Have you ever seen a photo where somebody's waving and their hands all blurry?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't up the shutter speed. Shutter speed was too low. So I upped my shutter speed and I said, okay, I'm going to count to three. On the count of three, I want you to whip it back. So I can take 6 photos in a second with my camera. So as I said three, I just started snapping. Do-do-do-do-do. So of that, I knew I was going to get, the
At least
flare.
one good one that did
Yeah,
the whole flip
yeah.
itself. So there's
So
probably
yeah,
like
and
a what is it? Oh God, I'm fumbling here. There's probably like what, like 20 photos of that specific one you had to
of
go ahead
that
and pick.
we did it twice. So there was probably about 24 because
Oh
there
damn,
was
I was
there
just
was
taking a
12.
random number out there, but
Well, yeah,
yes,
you
there
were actually pretty
is.
good. So
Cool.
from the time that I said three and the time that she went around, there was 12 photos.
Okay.
Um, we did it twice, and then because the one time that she did her face, she made a funky face, and I was like, okay, okay, Miss Sophia, you got to relax the face, because we got to do it again, and because she was so excited to do it, her
Yeah.
face just looked off.
Yeah.
So the
I've
second
been
time
there.
we got that shot, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's another one. We're here for the sex one, the cake. I feel like there was another one I wanted to show. Let me find it real quick. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing that I hit the wrong button. I want to go ahead and there's one more that I wanted to find. I think it's the one that didn't download.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Um, oh, it's that one. Okay. Let's see. Is it that? Nope. Hold on, guys. I think it's one of the boudoir ones. It's really not that big of a deal if we can't find it. Like if I can't get it on here, but it would be cool to go ahead and see it. Let's see if I can get it real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. So this one is of. There you go, and I can bring it up a bit. But that one, it was another boudoir one. That's what it was. I thought there was a different one that I had picked up, but this was pretty cool because this one, I want everybody to know. I remember vividly how this picture went down, and Kim, you might remember it too. It's one where I'm laying on my back and my legs are straight up in the air, cross at the ankles. Do you remember how many breaths I had to take and how long I had to hold my breath? And I had to arch my back a certain way, but I had to suck in by the hips and I had to hold my legs up straight, but bend them slightly, to cross the ankles, put your hands up here like this. Okay, now hold that.
Right.
I wanted to die, but it turned out beautifully. It turned out
Beauty is
great.
pain.
Again, like
Beauty is pain.
this is such a sexy photo of me, and I was just like, that's me. I did that. But when I tell you, I think the hardest part about posing is getting that perfect little arch in the back. Like it was just like
Mhm.
for some reason that for me was just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep this up. Like it was a lot of fun though. It definitely was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, they always are. You're sweating and I'm sweating by the end. It's like, holy cow, we just had to work out. Who has to go to
Yeah.
the gym for that?
Yeah. So when are you going to be doing when are we going to collaborate on another photo shoot? What's your next creativity thing? When are you gonna call me to come be your muse?
I I would love to do a paint shoot. I have two different
Ooh.
ideas. So I have powdered paint. So have you ever seen those powdered runs or paint
Mm-hmm.
runs or whatever they do?
Color
So I have a
runs.
bunch of powdered. Yeah, I have a punch. I have a bunch of powdered paint. So I would love to do something with that. But I also have a lot of liquid paint that I think would be fun, whether a couple or a family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have those in the works. I'm thinking of sometime like in the spring, when it gets warmer, because it's gonna have to be outside.
We
Obviously, I don't want to.
we did something with liquid paint before too. We did. Actually, Jordan was a help in that. We did a gender reveal for what I was having when I had Stevie.
Yes, yes,
We
yes.
went
We did.
to
Yeah.
we went to one of the parks. We met out there, and actually my biological mom was there for something else entirely. So we were trying to surprise everyone of what we were having. So Jordan had the card. Like she went and she got the card. She had the gender in it. She got the paint mixed up. We're wearing white. We're
Yep.
blindfolded, and she helps little Toby come squirt paint on us. And
Yep.
I remember
Yep.
we were trying to keep it a secret from everyone. We didn't want to tell everyone right away. And, I had some upset family members, whatever, they got over it. But here comes my mom. She's just right over there. And she's just like, Sam? And I'm like, oh, hi, mom. And she's just like, hi. She's like, oh my God, you're having a boy? And I'm like, yeah, don't tell anybody yet.
Yeah, be quiet. Secret. It's a secret. So yeah, I was. I don't have my books for the next 2.5 months are almost completely full. Um,
Yeah, I
and
feel that.
while I love it, I'm not complaining at all. I know by the springtime I'm gonna be ready to do something creative and outside the box.
All right, cool. I'll
So
start
because
getting in shape now.
usually, yeah, yeah, December, January is kind of slow for us. So
Yeah.
um, that's when I'm gonna start brainstorming some ideas. And like I said, I want to do something with this paint. And I don't know yet what and how. So that's probably gonna be my next one. So if
Nice.
you're up for it, let's go. And next year I'm getting back into my Halloween one. I wasn't able.
Yes.
Um, I was gonna do a purge shoot last week, because it's one of my favorites. I love it. We had to cancel it. A couple people had gotten sick. A couple people had other plans.
I didn't
We
get the email notification for that one, so I'm gonna try and not take offense to that right now. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Um, but we had come home from Florida Sunday night late because our plane was delayed almost 2 hours. By the time we got home, our new puppy, we had to go to the emergency vet. We were at the vet from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. We didn't get much sleep.
Oh
So it
God.
all kind of worked out where it was like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I had to cancel, which sucked, but I literally was going on like maybe 2 hours of sleep. So I was like, my Halloween one probably is not going to work this year, unless it's closer to Halloween. I just do something fun,
Yeah.
which I'll let you know. But I'm also not a big fan of putting people out there when it's 40 degrees and raining either. So
I
I have to
personally do not care.
I have to keep an eye. I have
Like we'll complain about
I'm
it.
trying.
I'll complain
I
about
have
it, but
I have an idea of what I want. I just don't know how I'm gonna. fit it in, which is heartbreaking to me.
Yeah.
But if I can't get it this year, I'm definitely going to do it next year. Now I have to keep that under wraps until I can finalize it. But so yeah, those kind of creative shoots help me inspire more creative things and gets
Yeah.
me love you know so
Well, I'm excited to see what's in store for it. I'm excited to see some more creative shoots from you, and watching, everything grow because you're still continuing to grow with this too, and it's been really cool, witnessing all of this and being a part of this, for the last decade, with you.
I
It's actually
appreciate you being there.
I've
I
had a lot of
appreciate it.
fun. I've had a lot of fun, man. It's been really cool. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I'm never going to stop learning. I'm never going to stop growing, which is
Yeah.
any creative should be that way. If you once you
Yeah.
know it all, then why are you even doing it anymore? But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the future holds, and I'm excited to look back in a couple years and go, I started there. Now
I
I'm
know. I
here. So
think we'll have to. I think we'll have to revisit this again. We'll have to do like a part two of this because we have a
yeah,
lot of interest in and the technicalities when it comes to, or like the technical things that you do, with photography. So this is a lot of fun. Were there any
awesome.
questions
All
that
right.
you had for me or the community here before we kind of segue out of this?
No, I just hope that I didn't sound like a dork. That's it.
No, you
I
did
am.
not sound like a dork. This is
I'm
a
a
lot
big
of fun,
dork.
actually. This is actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it very
I
much,
had
and I
fun.
do appreciate you tuning in with us. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude our, latest episode of Sundays with Sin. I do appreciate everybody coming on in. You will be able to find the audio of this episode recorded on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, sometime later this evening, definitely by first thing in the morning for sure. Um, we do this every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Every week. We've been doing this, for 7 weeks now. We've been number one podcast on Kick Streaming, which has been really cool. And I'm excited to continue this with it. Next week, I will see you guys, with another special guest, actually. So thank you, Kim, for tuning in with us. I appreciate it. Folks, we're going to
Thanks
go
for having
ahead.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go ahead and raid on out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening. Have a great day.